Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Vampyr.
As I always say about this game, at the beginning here you will suck a lot. Not blood, you just suck in general because you are a recently transformed vampire newbie. And you know the fate of such newborn vampires in all the movies. They easily die by the hand of every protagonist. So with time you will become more and more powerful, as you have to survive and fight vampire hunters, undead and other supernatural creatures. Use your powers to manipulate and delve into the lives of those around you to decide who will be your next victim. You will like this game if you are into darker settings and like difficult moral choices, because your food here has different personalities. You may want to kill only bad criminals and not an innocent father of 2 sick kids. And sometimes you just need to feed and kill him anyway. You may think that,
hey, it's just a game, it doesn't matter.
but it's the same as with the dying pandas in Zoo Planet. They are not real, but the game still makes you feel like shit. So be sure that you like that kind of stuff. Legend of Grimrock. This game is perfect for dungeon crawling fans because Legend of Grimrock is one of the best there is. It has a modern execution but an old school heart. A group of prisoners are sentenced to a certain death by exile to the secluded Mount Grimrock for vile crimes they may or may not have committed. Probably they put pineapple in the potato salad and cooked steaks until they were well done. If that is so, just leave them to die, they are not worthy. Okay, I'm kidding, you are a generous god and you must help everyone in need. So you are in charge of them and you will have to travel to ancient crumbled ruins, mysterious shrines and vast underground network of dungeons and mines. If the prisoners wish to make it out alive, they have to overcome all the challenges, form a team and descend through the ominous mountain. Although be warned that this game has one very annoying feature. You will be searching for hidden buttons all the time, and that is not fun at all. Monster Hunter Rise. This is originally a Nintendo Switch game released back in 2021. Now we have this action-soaked game on Steam as well, and this version is obviously upgraded to meet our expectations. You will rise to the challenge and become a hunter, explore brand new maps and use a variety of weapons to take down fearsome monsters. That's what developers say, but I would change the word fearsome to airy-fairy, because those monsters are anything but fearsome. Although they are beautiful, I can't deny that. Each monster you hunt will provide materials that allow you to create new weapons and ammo. You can also upgrade your existing gear so you can go back on the field and hunt even more airier and fairier monsters and earn even better rewards. Of course, all of that is presented in 4K resolution with ultra-wide monitor support and unlocked frame rate. Black Skylands. This is a steampunk experience that combines elements of open world, sandbox, top-down shooter and action-adventure games. Here you'll become a skilled and valiant young sky marshal fighting to protect your people from the invading bad guys. You will take command of your own airship and embark on a journey through a world of boundless skies. Gather resources to craft powerful weapons, upgrade your ship to new heights, unearth ancient secrets and engage in beautiful battles. When I played the alpha or demo version of this game a few years ago, I was really impressed by the style of the game. It surely draws inspiration from Hayao Miyazaki and his creations. Also, do yourself a favor and prepare for yourself some Abney Park, Steam Powered Giraffe and other soundtracks from steampunk bands. This way you can truly elevate your experience with Black Skylands, that's for sure. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Here you'll put on the shoes of a legendary Viking warrior on a quest of glory. Explore England's dark ages as you raid your enemies, grow your settlement and build your political power. Yeah, this is one of the most innovative Assassin's Creed games, and the Nordic theme of Vikings is what fans of the franchise always wanted, although it is far from the top predators of the genre, such as Title or Third Witcher or even Skyrim by the quality of story and characters. Also, no boobs for you here. Viking game without boobs. What is this blasphemy? Cyberpunk 2077. Finally, Cyberpunk 2077 has become a great game. Recent reviews on Steam are always above 90%, and the main score climbed to the very positive tier. After many years in mixed and later in mostly positive category, this is an achievement of really hard work and dedication. CD Projekt Red, by releasing an undercooked game, has made probably the biggest mistake of their lives, but they are slowly climbing up. Although the stock value of the company is still in ruins. After the flop of the game, CD Projekt Red lost about a third third of company's value, and so far nothing has changed despite the amazing comeback of Cyberpunk. And the game itself is a wet dream of anyone who likes single-player RPG games, but it also has some really annoying flaws as well. Despite being set in a GTA-like world, here you cannot fly. That is sad. Anyway, the campaign is more than awesome. 11 ColdBeers out of 10. Felseal Arbiter's Mark. This is a beautifully hand-drawn, story-driven, turn-based tactical RPG set in a fantasy world with a touch of steampunk. You'll experience an epic and mature story unfolding through over 40 encounters and topped with challenging endgame content. To progress, you will have to master classic tactical combat battles with rugged terrain and elevation. Class system contains over 30 classes and 300 abilities. It lets you customize every one of your characters through the selection of their class, subclass, and passives. People on Steam are saying that this game is simply awesome. And tactics-wise, if you want a real challenge, play on very hard mode and prove that you have the biggest, hardest and hairiest mental balls a person could have. God and Story. This is a social sim and adventure RPG where you play as Concord, a newly appointed village guardian. There is lots to keep you busy. Not only your neighbors need assistance, but a mysterious rot has seeped into the foundations of once flourishing island. Honestly, that part of the story is a shameful ripoff from yonder Cloudcatcher Chronicles, or from a never-ending story. Although that doesn't really matter because this game is really different in many other aspects. Anyway, he will help your friends with their struggles and they will help you through yours. You know that raging addiction to pineapples in your potato salad will not go away by itself. You need help. So here you will have to balance caring for the environment, exploring new regions and fostering new friendships as you solve puzzles and help restore the grove to glory. Remnant from the Ashes. This is a third-person RPG shooter. Here the world has been thrown into a chaos by an ancient evil from another dimension. As gamers on Steam pointed out, they just ripped off a plot from Neverending Story. That's a shame, but in general this is a great game. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be RPG Dark Souls with guns. Yes, that is a one word if you throw out the spaces between them, and I did so, sue me. So here as one of the last remnants of humanity, you must set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors, and then face down hordes of deadly enemies, rebuild and retake what was lost. The strongest side of the game is the various guns and weapons. They're really good looking and fun to use. You know how in some other games you get a nice looking gun, but there is no real satisfaction to shoot it? Well, that's not the case in Remnant. Also, people are praising the great co-op mode, so you can play the game with your mother-in-law and do some nice bonding together. Elex 1 and 2. Alright, so Elex and Elex 2 are made by the same people who created Gothic games, and if you are an old-school gamer, this information should spark real interest into your heart. It is set in a post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe full of original characters, deep moral choices, and dinosaurs. Yeah, you can be slain by a Penisoraptor here. Well, they may be called differently in-game, but anyone who slays you is a total dick, that's for sure. Also, here you'll have a jetpack, and that is amazing because you can explore not only horizontally but also erect yourself vertically and find some nice treasures hidden high up the hills. The novelty which distinguishes Elex from the first game the most is an entire system of aerial combat, with all its benefits including enemies with an improved AI. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. Made with the same Infinity engine as a classic Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale is a more battle-oriented game. You will find less side quests and less story, but you will enjoy an amazing atmosphere because the game is really detailed. Also, the party is entirely player-made with no other NPCs offering to join at any given moment. Although this is an enhanced edition, don't expect anything fancy or modern. Yeah, graphics are improved, quick loot is implemented, all the expansions are here, and even quests you never seen before. But those are not new quests. They were just cut off from the original release back in 2000s. So this remaster is like a new paint on an old building. The face is new, but the body is old and it plays like an old game as well. Be aware of that.
Gamedec.
This is a single-player, non-combat cyberpunk RPG. You are a game detective who solves crimes inside virtual worlds by using your wits to gather information from your witnesses and suspects. Also get to the bottom of deceptive schemes, save lives and investigate the relationships between virtual worlds and their inhabitants. The game continually adapts to your choices and never judges, just like your dog does. Also, it sounds a bit like Disco Elysium, and that's a great thing. Although keep in mind that here you will not find any battles and no fighting is available. Pick it up only if you like to read and carefully analyze sentences in dialogues. Expeditions Rome. This is an indirect sequel of Expeditions Viking, and it has already accumulated a very positive review score on Steam. So here you can create your own Roman legacy, customize your character's look, gender, class and skills to match your playstyle and role-playing fantasy. Although I doubt that you will find a slider for a ding-dong size, like we have in Cyberpunk. That would be a pleasant surprise. So here, as in the prequel, you will engage in tactical turn-based combat powered by an extensive skill-based action system, where every weapon changes your potency on the battlefield. This is a great game for the people who like to use the tiny organ between our ears. People on Steam are saying that this is an interesting, a bit underrated RPG game that takes a huge amount of time to beat, but gameplay almost never gets boring. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing Final Cut. This is definitely one of the most known action RPGs out there. This version of the game is a collection of 3 standalone episodes told as one continuous story, with 6 playable classes and a new endgame mode with a huge variety of open missions. People on Steam are saying that this is a very addictive game. Not as addictive as potato salad, but there is a huge chance that you will have a lot of great time. Although it has some minor problems, lame targeting system and a bit shallow character builds. Also, you may encounter some bugs and glitches along the way as well. But anyway, this game is really entertaining and also huge. The campaign is offering over 50 hours of gameplay. Also, if you are in doubt, you can download a free demo version at first and try it out. The Ascent. This is a solo and co-op action RPG set in a distant cyberpunk world. You will be exploring a corporate-run metropolis stretching high into the sky and filled with creatures from all over the galaxy. If you like Star Wars, Firefly or Cyberpunk 2077, it's a perfect setting for your adventures. You play as a worker enslaved by the company that owns your ass and everyone else in your district as well. They are the ultimate ass holders. But one day you are suddenly caught in a vortex of catastrophic events. So you must take up arms and embark on a new mission to find out what started it all. People on Steam are saying that the game is really beautiful and fun, but kinda riddled with bugs. Although not everyone experiences these problems, the game has a bit less than 80% of positive reviews. For some, it is even the best game they have ever played. I think that is an overstretch, a real overstretch, but kinda encouraging as well. Lilith Odyssey. This is a small but really ambitious indie project you probably never heard about. So here, after the great Nacho Wars have ended, a corrupt galactic government saps life and resources from the many war-weary planets it controls. Your alien family risks everything across an open-world galactic odyssey to find a mysterious land of new beginnings. And they are all aware of their simulated nature. Well, that's a twist. I always say that our world is a simulation, because there is only a slight, tiny chance that our universe is the original one and not being simulated in a computer of some other civilization in another universe, which is itself simulated in some other computer by some even more advanced civilization in another universe, and the cycle may continue endlessly. So really, what are the chances that we live in the first one, the original universe? A rhetorical question, but makes you think, right? Anyway, you will embark on a galactic journey to Lilith, a faraway planet of New Hope. You will discover the history of the Mulago galaxy, relax to in-game radio, grow your fishing, farming and space-faring skills, and enjoy casual adventure. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is probably the best fantasy open-world RPG ever created, and I doubt that I could find anyone who at least never heard of it. Well, at least inside the Western influence hemisphere, it's a true legend. On Steam it has more than 600,000 reviews, and 96% of these people recommend this game for you. And I don't know who are the 4% who didn't like the game. I scrolled for like 5 minutes through hundreds of reviews and failed to find any explaining why. Although I finally found one. Dude said that he doesn't like developers anymore after the flop of Cyberpunk 2077, which is honestly a good game by now, and that's why he gave a negative review for Witcher 3. That is not serious. And my friendship with Witcher Geralt started way before any of the games were released. I read the book when I was a teenager, and after many years I even got Andrzej Sapkowski to sign it for me when he was visiting Lithuania for some book fair or something. And we also spoke for like 20 seconds as well. Never washed my mouth in years after that. Anyway, the game has an incredible story, super fun gameplay and a huge dark fantasy open world to explore. The coolest thing is, of course, your profession. You kill monsters for money, so you can just travel around the map and fulfill contracts ignoring the main story as long as you want or as long as you can get a new contract. And every single monster hunt is a handcrafted mission with different outcomes and sometimes hard moral choices. Third Witcher is probably the best game I have ever played. Undermine. This is an action-adventure roguelike that blends combat and dungeon crawling with RPG-like progression. Mine gold, die, upgrade yourself, and then try again. Discover hundreds of items including relics, potions, blessings and curses that all stack for a new experience every run. Challenge dangerous bosses and rescue helpful characters that provide new upgrades for your adventure. Also decipher the cryptic messages of the Undermine's residents and unfold the mystery at the heart of the dungeon. People on Steam are saying that the game reminds them of one thing, like someone took the mines from Stardew Valley, upgraded them heavily and made them into a game. Undermine has about 90% of positive reviews, but some people complain that it is unbalanced and can infuriate you. But hey, you play these games and hope to die just to be reborn stronger again. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor-Martyr. He'll become a mighty Inquisitor and carry out the Emperor's will. Choose one of the multiple classes and take part in brutal combat encounters. Embark on a huge variety of missions with your fellow agents and fight through a single-player story campaign. It is set in a haunted fortress monastery which hides a terrible secret from the past of the Inquisition. Yeah, they probably have put pineapple into potato salad. In general, this is a very nice game, but keep in mind that it is best played with a gamepad, because playing with keyboard and mouse is really not as comfortable. Although some people could argue about that, because there are many gamers in both gamepad and keyboard camps. Although let's be fair, gamepad camp is way bigger, and the gameplay, the main thing of every game, is highly addictive. It will burn tens or even hundreds of your hours, even quicker than alcohol does. People on Steam are saying that this game is a no-brainer for those who like Diablo. It's basically the same, just in Warhammer universe. Kenshi. This is a free-roaming, squad-based RPG focusing on open-ended sandbox gameplay. You can be a trader, a thief, a rebel, a warlord, a slave, or just food for the cannibals. The freedom is here and it's up to you how you would use it. You can research new equipment and craft new gear, purchase and upgrade your own buildings to use as safe fortified havens when things go bad, or use them to start up a business. Well, it's a sandbox game after all. You can aid or oppose the various factions in the world while striving for the strength and wealth necessary to simply survive in the harsh desert. You will train your men up from puny victims to master warriors, carry your wounded squadmates to safety and get them all home alive. The game is purely single player and it's an owner of overwhelmingly positive reviews left by tens of thousands of people. Monstrum. This game was one of the most entertaining things I ever played. It is a really scary experience, but also really fun. You will have to escape the ship of horrors by doing some tasks, like finding parts for the helicopter or building a raft. And these parts are all over this massive ship, so you will have to travel huge distances in order to collect them all. Fun part is that you are not alone. Somewhere in this ship lurks a terrible monster, so you get the point. This game is best enjoyed with friends, but I don't have co-op mode or anything like that in mind. Monstrum is a single-player experience. Just take turns trying to escape the ship. I guarantee that this game may become the pinnacle of your evening with buddies. Honestly, I never laughed so much playing horror games with my friends. Grounded. One of the smallest open-world games. You can only freely move around in your yard of several square meters. The trick is that the game follows the best traditions of famous movie
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And here you are literally shrunk to the size of an ant. So actually this world is vast, beautiful and dangerous place. You know, almost every predator is bigger than you. Probably a dog peeing on some flower can literally drown you, in a way that you wouldn't want to be carved on your tombstone. So here we'll explore, build and survive together in this first-person multiplayer survival adventure. So can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects fighting to survive the perils of the backyard? Well, alone probably not, but if you have some friends or a loving mother-in-law, you can play the game together and have lots of fun. The rating on Steam hovers around 90%, and that is always a sign of a good game. Conan Exiles. This is an online multiplayer survival game with mounts and mounted combat set in the lands of Conan the Barbarian. You'll journey through a massive and seamless open world, from the rolling sand dunes of the southern desert to the mysterious eastern swamp and the snow-capped mountains of the frozen north. Climb anywhere and experience full freedom of exploration. In other words, it is an open-world sandbox and you can play together with friends or, you know, with creepy strangers as you build your own home or even a shared city. You will have to survive freezing cold, explore loot-filled dungeons and develop your character from lowly peasant to a mighty barbarian. Also fight to dominate your enemies in epic siege wars. People on Steam are talking that the game is a bit buggy and that can be annoying, but it also has boobs in it, so for that you can forgive almost anything. State of Decay Juggernaut Edition. This is an open-world survival game set just after the zombie apocalypse. Your small community of survivors seeks to rebuild a corner of civilization, and you get to make all the decisions about how that happens. So, knowing you, humanity is doomed, and it's all your fault. For those who are concerned, this is a single-player game with an option to play co-op. So, this is not some MMO or online shooter battle royale with zombies, no, this is a serious game with base building, RPG mechanics, and permanent death. Yeah, that doesn't sound cool, but believe me, it is very good for immersion. You won't be jogging around with your PP out, swinging left and right, you be careful and take the game seriously instead. You will decide who to recruit to your team, where to settle your community, how to fortify and upgrade your base. You will select which survivor to bring along on a scavenging run for the ammo or ingredients for delicious potato salad, and who you use to fight off the zombies attacking your base. People on Steam are saying that this game has probably the closest feeling to The Walking Dead show, and a very positive review score is a proof of that. Smalland: Survive the Wilds. Here you'll traverse puddles as big as a lake, scale skyscraper-sized trees, and scramble through cavernous cracks in roads as you explore a huge open world from a new perspective. Well, honestly, we all saw this in Grounded already, but that game is obviously oriented to a younger audience, and Smalland is more like a traditional open-world RPG with heavy crafting and survival elements. Yeah, keep that in mind. The game is filled with various challenges. The squirrel gangs that see you as a walking peanut can be a little overwhelming and add an unexpected twist to your tiny adventures. One of the coolest things is that you can ride various creatures, and not only on the ground, there are plenty of flying mounts as well. And for me, after flying for countless hours in Hogwarts Legacy, it's very hard to go back to any game that doesn't have this feature. Anyway, you can play the game alone or with friends, but keep in mind that it is still in early access, so you can run into various problems nobody else has ever even seen before. Also, if you are afraid of spiders, fair warning, you are a pussy. I'm kidding, I just wanted to stress out that here you will encounter some realistically looking and moving spiders that may not be compatible with your raging arachnophobia. Thymesia. This is a dark fantasy action RPG with fast-paced combat and an interesting plague weapon system. In a kingdom where death rules, you will play as a mysterious character known by the codename Corvus. And as always, you are the kingdom's final hope, blah blah, the fate of the land is resting in your hands, and so on. You know, also it's a short game. It is possible to beat it in 6 hours, but hey, let's be fair and square and triangle. It ain't gonna happen unless you are a god of gamepad. Also, if you like tea with thymes, then you are strong and this game needs you. Valheim. Most of us can remember the hype it caused on release date, and the hype is well deserved. This game is really a masterpiece with a review score never, at least on Steam, never below 90%. It may scare you that the game is still in early access after all those years, but if you focus on the main objectives only, it will still provide you with more than 70 hours of gameplay. And in general, Valheim is a brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players, set in a procedurally generated world inspired by Norse mythology. You will craft powerful weapons, construct longhouses, grow your balls, and slay mighty foes to prove yourself to Odin. Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. This is a tactical game that combines the turn-based combat of XCOM with real-time stealth and exploration of post-human world reclaimed by nature and mutants. And by saying mutants, I don't mean human mutants. Those are all gone. Now smart animals rule the world.
Define smart.
Well, you got me here. They are not always smart. They sometimes do stupid decisions because, you know, you are controlling them.
Oh my god, how dare you!
Shh, it's a joke. So although animals can't speak here, it's definitely not a Disney kind of world. It's brutal and cruel, and survival of the fittest is in progress. Here you must venture out of the city to explore the zone where one day you might find the Eden of legends, the ancients' heaven in the middle of hell, I guess, with mountains of potato salad and rivers of cold beer. Maybe you will find your answers there, then again, maybe not. Game has really beautiful graphics, great humor, and an interesting story. Also very positive reviews on Steam. Tower of Time. This is a story-rich dungeon crawler with innovative real-time combat that lets you pause or slow time, and here you have to turn on your brain if you want to succeed. And I mean it, every battle is specially designed to be a tactical puzzle, so it might be a bit challenging, or impossible, depends on your IQ I guess. Well, you can always adjust the difficulty, but that is an instant insult to your brain power, isn't it? Also because of that, the game is really suitable for fans of the genre and not so friendly for new players. Tower of Time will burn about 50 hours hours of your boring lifetime as you enjoy handcrafted levels and interesting story. You'll also find thousands of pieces of loot and equipment. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.